Good morning, everyone. I'm Bullhorn Betty. This is the Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories channel. If you guys have never been here, please consider subbing up and don't forget to hit that like button as we get into the latest breaking news across the United States, but mostly here in Florida, where I reside. We're going to be discussing.
From the East Coast to the West Coast, we are everywhere true crime is. We are asking for the public's help. We are searching in the woods. We are doing what it takes here on the Bullhorn Betty channels to find answers to the most alarming cases we have been watching on the news. I can tell you personally that I have traveled this entire country seeking these answers and bringing that content right here to you here on the Bullhorn Betty channels and Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories. We are happy with the work that we've done. We brought many answers to the public, and we have defied mainstream media in our pursuit of the truth in these cases. We will continue to work, we will continue to fight for these victims, and we will continue to tell their stories here on my channels. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty brand of channels and the Coffee Club. Thank you for your love, thank you for your support, and more importantly, thank you for allowing me to bring these victims' stories to each and every one of you, advocating for each of these victims. God bless you, God bless America, and more importantly, God bless our victims.
And this is something that's almost made for movies. In this world, we're discussing a lot of stuff related to wrench attacks, Nancy Guthrie, little people or people being ripped out of their bed by masked gunmen. In this case right here in the state of Florida, in Hollywood, in Margaritaville, right? It's 5 o'clock somewhere. People just wanting to enjoy themselves and being out are victims of kidnapping and torture for money. And so I thought that this was a really appropriate story to bring all of you because of the elements in the story. So this is a case that happened back in May of 2026, right here in the state of Florida. But in light of the Nancy Guthrie case, I thought it would be appropriate for our Crime Stories breaking news show for today, July 7th. Good morning, everybody. I hope you're doing well. So let's go ahead and get started. And what is making such major waves? Well, this is interesting. 6 men allegedly kidnapped 2 people at a vacation resort, tortured them at a boat ramp, all to acquire money. And believe it or not, all of these 6 assailants are very young, very, very young, only one being of drinking age, 21 years old, 19, 20, 21, 18, 19, and 20. What is causing such anger and this type of behavior in our young men? Well, we're going to break into this story where 6 men allegedly kidnapped 2 people from the Margaritaville Hollywood Beach Resort in Florida and tortured them, according to officials. The incident took place starting the night of May 29th at the Margaritaville Hollywood Beach Resort, with one of the suspects pressuring a victim as well as a witness to go to a car show in a remote part of Broward County, Florida, according to a recent unsealed document. Saul Alfonso, Justin Fihung, Amari Hill, Anthony Hernandez, Marqueves McNichols, and Waylon Hernandez were charged with kidnapping and conspiracy to commit kidnapping. 2 victims who weren't identified in court documents allegedly met up with Sal at the Margaritaville parking garage, as well as a female suspect. Now, we have not heard of a female arrest as of late. After getting to the parking garage, the 2 victims were forced into 2 cars at gunpoint by several people, according to these court documents. Officials said Hill slammed one of the victims into the car and forced him into the passenger seat, while Fihong allegedly told a victim, if you try to get out, I'm going to end your life, further saying, I am going to kill you and your family. The victims complied, fearing for their safety. An FBI agent wrote in an affidavit that all 6 were armed with semi-automatic weapons and were wearing shiesty masks with latex gloves on. Sound familiar? This almost sounds like a spitting image of what we heard so far about Nancy Guthrie's case, with the caveat that it wasn't a smash and grab like this was. The other victim was forced into a separate car, according to the document. The complaint states that Phil Hong allegedly demanded one of the victims to give him money if he wanted to live, then forced him to call friends to try to get more money. If I don't get money every 10 minutes, I'm going to take your fingernails off, one by one, according to the assailant. The victim observed a pair of pliers inside the car and believed they were going to pull his fingernails off. So he continued calling people in an attempt to get money, according to the criminal complaint. The victim in the other car was allegedly held at gunpoint. Both victims were taken to a location one of the suspects referred to as the spot, which was West Broward boat ramp, and that's where they were allegedly tortured. Once they were there, the FBI said both victims were forced to kneel at gunpoint. I can't imagine how this must have felt. This must have been unnerving. They must have thought they were going to die. Adding that one of the suspects saw a tattoo on a victim. The 2 were allegedly robbed of their personal belongings, including phones, jewelry, clothing, and other personal items. One of the victims was allegedly forced to sending $400 through Zelle. I'm going to burn the tattoo off you. You don't deserve to have it. I'm going to torture you. Don't cry, he allegedly said. I will kill your family if you go to the police. We're not done. The suspects even forced the 2 victims to strip to their underwear while demanding money, according to the complaint, which added that Hill fired a round into the air while he was on video in an attempt to let the person know that on the phone they were serious. So, again, just thought this was very, very interesting. The video is very disturbing, highly disturbing to watch. One of the victims being abducted. So, as you guys just saw, this is a recent high-profile kidnapping and torture case at a Hollywood beach in Broward County. Although not within the last 24 hours, an FBI-linked federal case involving a Margaritaville Hollywood beach resort in Brevard County is still a current major story in the state of Florida, and 6 men from various South Florida cities face federal charges for kidnapping and conspiracy after luring these victims at the resort, abducting them at gunpoint with a blowtorch in a remote area of Broward County. All adult suspects are being held in Broward County Detention Facility on U.S. Marshal holds, and the victim records show detention and arraignment hearings are scheduled through June, confirming cases are ongoing rather than closed files. So we will be monitoring this case to see how this case, pans out. This is related to July 4th and the carnage the 4th of July brought. The 4th of July celebrations across the United States developed into a string of shootings and explosions that killed at least 6 people and injured scores more from New York to California. In Brooklyn's Coney Island area, a man in a black ski mask opened fire on a family barbecue, wounding at least 8 people, including 4 children, while a 21-year-old woman shot in the chest remains in critical condition. Other incidences include targeted shooting that killed a 19-year-old and wounded 6 in downtown Pensacola, Florida, a Fort Wayne, Indiana shooting that left 1 woman dead and 8 adults wounded, and a Gary, Indiana attack, which a 10-year-old boy was killed and multiple people injured in 2 related shootings only minutes apart. In Chino, California, A large cache of fireworks exploded, killing one person and critically injuring two others. Police arrested a 28-year-old man on an involuntary manslaughter charge tied to those illegal fireworks. And one detail for a tailor-made stupid criminal angle here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. In Canton, Ohio, a 46-year-old woman was shot in the back while sleeping after a man and others reportedly fired weapons into the air alongside fireworks, leading to felonious assault and improperly discharging a firearm into habitation charges against the suspect.